Looks like I'm live. Can never really tell. So we're live, and I'm here to say that if your name begins with the letter L, then these are the qualities that entered with you. And that is according to the Word Oracle Alchemy System, which is the deck of oracle cards that all my work comes through. So there are many things that this oracle does, and one of the things it does is it reveals the architecture of our names through the alphabet. And what I mean by that, I mean it reveals the qualities associated with the letter, associated with what your soul chose to have as attributes or gifts, qualities, whatever word you like to put around that. I'm here today with the What is in a Name series, and this is coming with one letter and explaining the qualities that came within that letter. So each one of us has a birth name, and much like numerology, which works with your birth name, so does the name code. So when we break down the code in your name, the alphabetical code in your name, it shows attributes that you came with. And these attributes are always in us. Sometimes life does make it so that we easily expand these things and use them in our life. And sometimes life has a way of presenting situations, big and small, can be minor things that help us to lay a gift down and not use it. So it just goes dormant, like it's asleep. But these attributes came with us, they are always ours, and the name code puts language to those qualities, and it also gives us a method to activate any ones that are dormant, in fact, so that we can bring them all back online. Because often we feel off purpose, like we're not living our life purpose. And I have found that when people have their name code revealed and they work with it for the prescribed amount of time that their code dictates, they find that they do, in fact, feel on purpose in their life. And nothing maybe has changed in their life, like they didn't get a new job or a new career or a new anything, yet they do feel on purpose. So we use the name code to simply activate things that might have gone dormant. And when we do that, and it reinforces any of the ones that we're already working with. So working with the name code is simply a way to get everything engaged again, to have all of our chosen attributes or gifts that would help us live out our purpose in the highest way possible, which of course our soul planned for before entering here. Then when we have the code, we can activate and be feeling that way on purpose. And being on purpose, like I said, does not mean anything actually has to change outside of us, but something changes inside of us. So that's what we do with the name code. So let's get to today's letter, which is L. And we're going to talk about the 4 attributes. Every single alphabet letter has 4 attributes, 4 qualities coming in with it. Almost like we have 4, the 4 corners of the building as the foundation, the 4 foundation pieces. So these are the 4 qualities that each letter come with, and we have them all. If we have the letter in our birth name, we have the quality. If you have repeating letters, it emphasizes the quality. If the L is not the first letter in your name, but it is in your name, then you want to pay attention as well. So for me, my name is Lisa. So obviously, L is one for me to pay attention to because it is in my birth name. So starting with the first card, this is the first L card that reveals the first quality of the 4 for the letter L. This one is called Spreading Deeply Loving Signals. So how this shows up, the L, so someone with an L at the start of their name, someone with an L in their birth name, someone with multiple L's. They could show up, meaning we notice them that they have a natural way of holding others with care. So they just have a natural way. Their presence carries a quiet sense of goodwill. That is the quality that comes with this. So if you identify with the fact that people tell you that you have that kind of thing where they feel like you're always holding them with care and that type of thing, if you're an L person, a person with an L, that would explain that you have this attribute and that you are actually having it operating and being on purpose as you intended it to. If the L has laid dormant for any reason, it may feel harder to stay in that place consistently. Like this L could maybe have the ability to have goodwill, but sometimes may not be able to stay in the goodwill state. Tension, moments of tension could replace that softness. So that would be because the quality isn't fully open, isn't fully engaged, and it's laying dormant. So when it's dormant, it is just going to be not functioning as it could. Okay, so we're moving to the second card now, and this one calls itself Liquid Lake Speaks Softly. I didn't show you the L on that first card, but I like to identify that there is the letter L on that card, and then on this card the letter L is right up there at the top. Beautiful letter L right there. And this one is called Liquid Lake Speaks Softly and Storms Erupt Without a Peep. So how does this show up? That this L person, this is an L name, starts with L, has L in the name. This L person shows up with an ease, that they meet sudden changes as they come. So sudden changes, they meet them as they come. This L, who has the L open or blossomed, you know, they're fully in this L, they move through shifts without needing to resist them. So when something comes, they could seem like they're the go with the flow, but this person doesn't just go with the nice flow. This person goes with the flow even when there's sudden, unexpected changes. So that's what this L in Blossom does. If it is dormant, it may appear that this L feels disrupted by unexpected change. This L feels disrupted by it. This L can have difficulty adjusting in the moment. That is what it would be like, as if it is dormant. So again, these are the qualities, how they look when they're fully blossomed and how they look when they're dormant. This is data, this is informational. This is so that we can look at ourselves if we have the L in our name and say, do I have the tendency to be that, or do I have the tendency to be that? We'll see where we are. A lot of times we have our attributes working for us. Other times we notice that attribute is not, we don't even have that one working. And sometimes we remember when we stopped using it. Quite frankly, the data does give us a way to, have hindsight. Okay, so let's go to the third L card. And let's see that beautiful L. There's that one. And this particular card calls itself Cheerfulness is My Name. So this L shows up for some who have it blossoming. This L shows up with a natural lightness that lifts those around them. This is that L. And their energy brings ease into shared spaces. So when the L is on purpose, when the L is blossomed, their energy brings ease into shared spaces. It's just natural. They have a natural lightness that just lifts those around them. So that is what the L looks like with this quality, this attribute with the L. And for those who have this L laying dormant, it may feel harder to access that lightness. and there can be a sense of heaviness instead of lightness. So that is what it looks like in its dormancy. So again, it's data. It can either look like heaviness, or that there is some difficulty, or it's actually hard to access the lightness, versus the one that has it blossomed and the natural lightness that they have just lifts others out, and they have a natural ease that is apparent in the places and spaces that they share with others. So that's how that shows up. And the fourth gift with the letter L, the fourth quality that comes in with the letter L. So having the letter in our name means it's one of the building block qualities that we intended to use on purpose in this life, so that we would have the full experience that our soul wanted to have. All these attributes we picked out. They came with the letters in our name. All right, so the final L is called deep contemplation brings soul satisfaction. So for some L's, this is going to show up in an L who has got it blossomed. This particular quality is blossomed. They have a pull toward reflection and quiet thinking. They have a natural pull toward those type of things where they have time to have reflection and quiet thinking. And these L's will spend time with what matters to them inwardly. I can really relate to that, especially spending time with what matters to me inwardly. I would say, yes, I have that attribute blossomed. And so as an L, I could say yes to that. So when we hear these things, and we want to just simply use them as data, we're not judging ourselves whether it's not good or bad if they're open or dormant, blossomed or dormant. That doesn't make them good or bad. The gift is the gift. It is just whether we've been able to, in our life, due to all the things that life's with us, have we been able to fully let those attributes blossom? And where we see that we haven't, we know that this data now shows us what is the difference in that quality. And with or without my name code, you can, with this data, move yourself toward the side where it would be blossomed. You don't need me to do that for you. You can do that for yourself. Of course, the name code makes it easy because it's a code, and if you follow it and do what it asks you to do for the duration that it gives you to do it, you will be finding that those qualities are all out of the dormant thing, and the ones that you were actively already strong in will only become stronger as a result of working with your code. So you cannot go wrong working with your name code. All right, so we did talk about not D. We did talk about L. D is for deep contemplation brings soul satisfaction, and the gift, we talked about what that looks like, what the gift, the attribute looks like when it is blossomed. So we've covered that, and it really the dormant side of that is what we're going to talk about now. So what does it look like when it's dormant? Well, it might look like it's easier to stay occupied on the surface, and there can be less time given to deeper thoughts. So when an L does not have that gift blossoming, they're more on the surface. They're not going into deeper thoughts or, any of those type of things. So that tells you that it is laying dormant. And remember, laying dormant just means it went out of use for one reason or another. We look at this data and we just say, oh, it's dormant and I can turn it back on because the gift exists within me, and I actually can use that gift to be on purpose in my life. So we're never looking at these to see which ones we have and which ones we don't, and sort of grading ourselves. We're looking at this as data, and we go, oh, that one I am doing, that one I'm not. And knowing that a change in the way that we when we realize that spending time going inwardly is actually the blossomed effect of the gift, then we can decide to become someone who does that for ourselves. We could also be someone who orders the name code and does it for ourselves, but has me give you the code so that you can work with it and you don't have to make up your own. So, but you can make up your own. Anybody can do anything. When they have data, when we have data and we can feel, oh, she said those 4 things. And 3 of those things felt like I had them going on, and 1 of them felt like I didn't. So the one that I felt like I didn't, I know what it would look like if I did have it open and blossomed like my other ones are. So now I know that I can work toward that. And that is as easy as taking that data and working that data for yourself. So please know that while I am here to serve and help people, I also know that as I give you appropriate data, that you can work with that data yourself. I know that. I know that you can. And I know that it's possible for us through just listening and being really honest with ourselves about what we're hearing. I know that we can identify ourselves and identify which qualities that we chose, that we notice we don't have fully functioning. We've allowed them to be dormant for whatever reason. And when we know that, we can bring those back online and have them work with us and for us so that we can be on purpose as our soul intended to be before it got here. And all the cucamonga occurred that life throws at us that sometimes makes us draw back some of the qualities and gifts and not share them. And it is in those moments that they become dormant. And it is in this moment when it's pointed out to us that we have it in dormancy, but it would look like this if we didn't. So now we have a clue, and we can bring it out of dormancy because we've given ourselves the clue by listening to the data and feeling the truth in us that is true about us. And that is where real change can take place. We have to know the truth about us in order to, know the truth about whether we've got these things going on or we don't got these things going on. And know that even though we don't have it going on, it exists in us and we can have it going on. It just takes desire and dedication. A little desire and a little dedication can actually really just get us going in the direction that our soul intended. And that is what the name code is about. It's about us reactivating what our soul intended and strengthening up the gifts that we already are using well. So we get both when we do the name code. The gifts we are already using well, the qualities we are already bringing to the table in spades, those get shored up, and the things that we have laid dormant become alive and active, and we become more on purpose. What a great gift it is, the name code. I hope that you'll check in at the YouTube channel and hear the other letters that are over there right now. I have done several letters. I'm going through the list. So over on YouTube right now, you can see the qualities for J, M, A, C, D, R, S, and this one today, L. I'll be back tomorrow with the letter B. And so if you have B in your name, you'll want to be here. Take care. Bye-bye.